Greetings and welcome back to Room 303 in our sophomore English class in the MyPerspectives volume. We are in Unit 2, page 218, Pat Mora's classic, Fences. And it really is a dynamic poem. And we are, just to remind, in Unit 2 where the topic is outsiders and outcasts. So I'm going to ask you when we're finished with our study here, why would this poem end up with outsiders and outcasts and the power of the imagery of a wall? When we get to 3A, and you can write it down now, we're going to play the game of Robert Frost's classic, the most classic poem on this topic is called Mending Wall. You'll study it as a junior, so I'm just setting you up for it. All right, guys, let's get ready to go to work. Pat Mora's Fences. We're going to start with some background information and some biographic information.
Fences by Pat Mora. Poetry. Background.
Page 213.
This poem was inspired by Puerto Vallarta, a beach resort city in Mexico. Many places, including Puerto Vallarta, rely on tourism as a major income source. This tourist economy, however, means that many locals must accommodate tourists who enjoy an affluent lifestyle that they themselves cannot afford. About the poet. Pat Mora, born 1942, grew up in El Paso, Texas, and became a teacher, museum director, and university administrator before turning to writing. Mora writes poetry in both English and Spanish, often including Spanish words and phrases in her English language poems. Her transcultural style gives a voice to her Mexican-American heritage of the Southwest.
Page 218.
Fences by Pat Mora. Mouths full of laughter. The turistas come to the tall hotel with suitcases full of dollars. Every morning my brother makes the cool beach new for them. With a wooden board, he smooths away all footprints. I peek through the cactus fence and watch the women rub oil, sweeter than honey, onto their arms and legs, while their children jump waves or sip drinks from long straws, coconut white, mango yellow. Once my little sister ran barefoot across the hot sand for a taste. My mother roared like the ocean. No, it's their beach. It's their beach.
Now, the power, of course, of this poem is the speaker's voice. Notice the whole notion of how we begin with mouths full of laughter and we end with a mother's mouth speaking. No, it's their beach. Of course, there's all kinds of irony as well in a poem like this. We want to begin, though, with the title. Why did Pat Mora call this poem Fences? Go ahead and jot down what you think. Now, the power, of course, of the footprints is as well significant in the poem. We'll begin, of course, with the turistas. That is to say, the tourists that are coming with mouths full of laughter and full of dollars. Notice the full, the power of the use of the word full. And then the speaker will speak about brother. My brother makes the cool beach each morning new for them. Circle the word new. With a wooden board, he smooths away all footprints. In other words, works to try and make this experience for the tourists remarkable, powerful, something they'll laugh about, something they'll enjoy. Why? Because, of course, the dollars that they are bringing, right? And then the third stanza, I peek. Of course, there's the key word, right? Peek, as in to look through the cactus fence. And there, of course, is your fences. But notice the title is plural, Fences. I'm gonna challenge you to think about what are all the different fences of this poem? And watch the women rubbing the oil, notice sweeter than honey, into their arms and legs, while their children jump waves. These are the mommies, right? The tourists. Sip drinks from long straws, coconut white, mango yellow. In other words, the local fare. What the drinks that make this experience of Puerto Vallarta for so many tourists so compelling. And then there's a reflection. So notice the power of this poem. It almost opens like an onion, or parfait for the Shrek fans in the house. Once my little sister ran barefoot across the hot sand for a taste. Notice we're back to tasting. We're back to mouths. And, of course, we're back to footprints. In other words, messing up the sand, if you will. And then it was the mother. The verb here is powerful. Roared, like the ocean, right? No, it's their beach. It's their beach. Of course, the irony is it's nobody's beach. And yet, in this poem, why? Because, of course, full of dollars, right? The idea of suitcases full of dollars allows them to, in some ways, think about the beach as their beach. At level 2A, what do you think is the primary message here? What is Pat Mora actually saying about culture contact? What is she saying about the power of children's perceptions on what it is to be the outsider or the outcast? Of course, the power at 2B of the footprints, the imagery of the footprints, and whose footprints get to make the sand, the beach, their beach. At 3A, of course, this works rather nicely to ask, okay, why is this one in Unit 2, Outsiders and Outcasts? How does it work, for example, with Mullen's elliptical? Jot down your ideas there. How does it work with Alexi's sonnet with Bird? How does it work with Mansfield's Doll's House? Finally, at 3B, to own a poem like this, when was a time that you were the one enjoying the beach? When was the time when you were peeking through the fence to see what others had that you don't? Thank you.